Hello there, welcome back to the weekly video. As usual, we are going to talk about stocks that was highlighted in the email that was sent out to my clients. On top of that, I am going to talk about stocks that are potentially going bearish, as we seen in the market that the Asia stocks are not doing so well. Okay, so let's start off with the last week's email. I'd like to touch on city development, AEM, and Genting. So city development last week, I mentioned about this bullish Harami pattern, and we need a follow-through buying. So to validate this pattern, follow-through buying is needed with a break above 6.74. So let's see where is city development right now. After the posting, the counter did have a follow-through buying as it closed strongly at 679. And yesterday it went up, rallying to 688 before pulling back today to retest this resistance turn support. So in short form, we call it the RTS, resistance turn support. So a resistance is formed when the stocks struggle to move up for at least 2 to 3 days. Okay, 2 to 3 days, you can see city development struggled over there, forming a minor resistance. When we say minor, means that it's only small, means it only tested not many times. Okay, so we can see a minor resistance at 679, and it managed to break out, sort of like breakout yesterday, and the volume was pretty high. But due to the bad sentiment today, we start to see some sell-off, retesting this previous resistance support, as I mentioned earlier. And the thing here to observe on city development is that it must hold at 679 in order to maintain its potential movement towards 717 resistance. Okay, so a good closing today for probably around 683, 685 will be good to suggest the upward movement towards 717. Major resistance tested 2 times in a long time frame, a long gap between them. Okay, so here we are looking at a potential retest of this major resistance if city development can close higher today, around 685. Talking about the next 2 counter, we have AEM and Genting. So AEM, as I mentioned last week, I saw this rising tree method. So in the email, I also attached the explanation, what is this pattern about. And AEM since then had moved up. Okay, but unfortunately, it did not test the expected target at 402 first, and then it started to pull back. Now, the pullback now is considered as subtle, and the volume is pretty low. So hopefully, AEM doesn't close too low today. And if it can close 386, 387, it will be even better. Means that there is a higher chance that 402 may be tested going forward. So let's see where AEM going to close today. Genting, the doji pattern at the support level is still helping to hold the support. Okay, why do I say that? Let's look at Genting here. Now you can see Genting trying to move up there over here, and it touched 96 before pulling back. Now technically, if you look at Genting, the support is still holding. Like I said, the doji is still helping to hold the support. But if you look at the bigger picture, right, you find that the low is almost the same at 93. And then if I were to draw a line connecting the highs over here, okay, you will find this counter is forming a descending triangle. A descending triangle denotes that the lows is the same, it's almost the same, and then we see the lower high form. So there's some element of a downtrend where we see high, lower high, but then we see the low almost the same. So this descending triangle could spell some bad news for the counter if Genting were to break down, especially when it crossed below 92. Then the projected target will be around 88. So Genting may be continuing its downtrend. You can see Genting midterm is on a downtrend with all the lower highs and the lower lows over here. So it may continue towards 88, especially when the market sentiment do not turn. Now, to negate this pattern, Genting has to go back to 96 again in order to change its direction. So let's see where Genting is going to be going forward. Next, we have SGX. So SGX, when I highlighted, it was going on an uptrend, potentially going on an uptrend. Why? Because we see the low and the potential higher low here with the hammer pattern, and I was looking out for 973 to be tested. But unfortunately, after posting this, this counter, had a diarrhea. It breaks down all the way after announcing supposedly good news, in my own opinion, but the market thinks otherwise. So on that day, SGX announced that they are expanding well in India, and but the market didn't like it, starting to shake their head as it sell off strongly to break its support at 945, and currently it is consolidating at this range from 927 to 938, which is not a good sign as yet, because it's not out of the wood now, because this can be still a bearish pennant. So when we talk about bearish pennant, it is denoted by a strong sell-off, which forms the flagpole. Then we have a consolidation in a tight range, waiting for the next breakdown. So if the next breakdown happened like this, then we may see SGX tumbling down towards $9. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully it can go to 945, break out on 945, and then go back to retest this resistance at this 962. But of course, we cannot fight with the market. If the market decided to sell off, just let it be. The only thing that we can look out for is to buy low for SGX. SGX, as we know, is a good counter, right? We won't see any chance of liquidations on this counter. So the positive news is that if this counter were to go to 902, look out to buy low or collect low. Some would call this dollar cost averaging at 9. And if it doesn't rebound from 9, then we may see even lower towards 874. Okay, so this may be the two range for you to look out for if SGX were to continue its downward movement. Then we have LHN Venture. So LHN is moving on an uptrend, as you can see here on the chart. And we are looking up for a breakout from 38, then towards 425, its target. So LHN has broken out strongly yesterday. It's very nice breakout, as the volume and the white candle bar suggest. Of course, today it hasn't continue its momentum yet due to the market sentiment, which is very normal. As you can see, after long white, it tends to rest for 1 or 2 days before it continue up again. So if LHN managed to hold at 38 at least, then we are looking at the potential continuation towards 425 if we can hold. Hold means that it doesn't trade below 38, it closes there. Okay, it closes there. Now, the other counter is Venture. I saw bullish Harami come inverted hammer, and we need follow through buying again, similar to City Development. Unfortunately, the counter hasn't followed through buying on this pattern yet. But the good news is that if it's forming a hammer at this support level at 1456, Okay, so if we can close higher at 1471, it may be another sign, a trading sign to take note, because potential rebound may be coming when it get followed through by. Okay, so watch out for venture. Singtel and Samudera. So if you are receiving the email and you got the look safe button to click, just kindly help to click the look safe button. Okay, and we see Singtel update here. So I was looking at Singtel, looking positive as it breaks out from its symmetrical triangle pattern. But unfortunately, today there's no follow through buying yet. So Singtel, okay, Singtel here, oops, has a symmetrical triangle. So when we talk about symmetrical triangle, is where you see lower high and higher low at the same time. Okay, so we are looking at the Singtel potentially failing on this breakout and this symmetrical triangle if it come back down to 247 and break down lower. So it is a crunch time for Singtel. Let's see whether it can close at 255 today, so that you can keep this so-called potential upward movement intact. So it's a crunch time now. And Samudera had a very nice rebound here with high volume. But unfortunately, yesterday it did not continue higher. And I think it's going to be worse if this counter come back to retest this support level. So this support level is 865. It cannot come back and retest this 865. Why? Because if it come back to retest 865, we get the lower high. And it's going to be a descending triangle and signal for more potential downward movement, especially when this major support at 865 is broken. Okay, so keep a lookout if you are into Samudera, right? Watch out for the position. If it breaks down, I think it will be more prudent to run away first than hoping for it to rebound, and then you can clear this counter with some profit. Okay, next will be Comfort Delgro today. Say click, and we are looking at this Comfort Delgro potentially forming uptrend, because this is a higher low. We need a higher high by breaking 121. So Comfort Delgro is currently trading at 119, 120. Haven't break out from 121 yet. So we got to give it some time to break out from 121. If we can break out, then we can look out for 129 resistance eventually to be tested if the uptrend continue. Now, the next few counters I just want to highlight are those super counters that have ran up quite superbly up for a long time, and now is showing sign of a downtrend. As you can see, Capital Corp, we have a lower high here, and the heavy sell-off here is retesting this support level. So this support level, which was a previous resistance support, is a very important level, because if it breaks down, then we may see Capital Corp hitting even at 607 level. So why do I say that? Because you can see Capital Corp here. This is a very strong sell down. Then it consolidated with a pennant pattern. Okay, and today we have a breakdown with volume considered high at this point of time, right? And what you are looking at is that if we continue to sell off, right, this is a sign of bearishness, of course, and 607, which confluence with the support level. Usually when you confluence with support level, projected level and support level match together, that is a bearish sign, or that is a sign that this level may be tested. Okay, so we shall see what's going to happen to Capital Corp. Sembcorp Industry. Okay, so this piece of news was released, and I posted in the in my Telegram group. Okay, and I shall share to you right now. Okay, I shall not do any changes. Okay, and then I will do this. I will just drag this over and I will share this. Okay, Bloomberg just initiate a coverage on Singtel industry with new underweight rating, and they don't have a full report for now, but the target price is 450. Well, that triggers a sell-off in Singtel, man. So this is definitely not friendly, okay, towards Singtel. And let's take a look at Singtel industry. It has a potential to form a double top, especially if it come back down to $5. Okay, so if they were to use the if they were to foresee, JP Morgan were to foresee this double top to be formed, then well, it could go even 420. Probably this is the inspiration for them to get the target at 450. Okay, so keep a lookout for Singtel industry. Okay, it's falling down. Now, if I do a short-term Fibo to find out where's the support, which is not really necessary, but if I want to do so, I still can do so. Right, 532 will be its 61.8, which will be its support level going forward. Next is OCBC. Just want to highlight that this counter is at its major support at 215, forming a hammer pattern. So this could be a trading signal for us going forward. Okay, let's see whether the market can close high today in order to right, make these trading signals a good one, because now it's not closing, but OCB has to close at least 12.20 and above in order to form that hammer. So let's hope that it can close there. All right, so thank you for viewing this week's video. I appreciate your likes and hope that you can continue to do so to support me, to give me the energy to keep going. And if you have friends to recommend, feel free to do so. I'll be more than happy to support them. Okay, so you can share the video with your friend as well for them to understand what we are doing. And I will see you again next week. Okay, good day, goodbye.